Sit, turn type, sit. Good boy. Ruff.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff.
What's going on, my guy?
Not too much. What's up with you, Santi? How are you?
Oh man, it's been a minute. Long time. I have to come in and bring in my guy Zach Bruno. It's been a minute. I love when he and I get to chop it up when we see each other in certain events and stuff, because he and I share the same passions for three things when it comes to the genres of comedy, hip hop, and of course wrestling, and how they all tend to seem to blend together all at one time. Bro.
That's performance art for you, right? Like it's, just people striving to be a lot of times the best versions of themselves.
Our boy Ray Sanchez is like, "Yeah, what's going on, sir?"
Yo, thank you, Ray, stopping by. You know the deal.
Yeah, so like you said, they all hit the spectrum of the performance arts world, and they all seem to, one way along the line, seem to find each other, especially nowadays. Especially when we get to, I'm embracing the fact that hip hop is really getting into wrestling more and more this day and age.
I mean, shout out to the world champion Swerve Strickland, the brand new AEW world champion. He was obviously, it's been before that, with even John Cena and some stuff like that, but he really was, or is even now, very much blending those two worlds.
Yeah, and even on the outside, like when you're looking at like Griselda, when you see like West Side Gun and all those guys.
Yeah, absolutely. ASAP Rocky, look what he did. With
ASAP. Yeah, definitely with Yams Day. You get even in battle rap, you hear Charlie Clips and all these guys. They're all in it, man. DNA. Yeah. They love their wrestling, man, and it's a beautiful thing, because we always associated years ago wrestling with rock. It was always seemed like those were the ones that were now hand in hand.
The Creed days.
Yeah, and now it transitions. I was just listening to the other day. I was playing WWE 2K24, and I was playing Shane McMahon's theme song, and you listen, it's like, that's Naughty by Nature. Like, really?
I mean, Shane was probably a hip hop fan in the mean streets of Greenwich, no doubt.
That definitely, he was doing his thing up there
for sure.
So, what was your out of the three? What was your first love, your first passion coming in?
Oh, the first out of those was wrestling, for sure. It actually probably went wrestling, stand up, hip hop. To be honest, like I fell in love with wrestling really early, like 5, 6 years old. I remember Shawn Michaels getting cracked with the camera. That's it, right. And that was, I don't know what it was. That was it. That was crazy. Like, how could this is on television? Like, what is going on? Like, and just, was what, every week after that. And then, like, as I got older, I had an older brother, so that was a lot of, like, my stand-up stuff. But I was exposed to George Carlin probably before I was 10.
Oh, man,
like,
please.
So, airline announcements, words you can't say on TV, of course. Common phrases. That one's really insane. It's just, like, linguistically. And also, again, like, that's kind of bridging into hip hop. Like, I was always like really into like the English language, just generally, right. Talking, speaking. Like, I talked fast, just all the time, like naturally, and I just liked grammar. I liked reading and writing, and so like stand-up comedy naturally gravitated toward that. And then when I found hip hop, especially like in the 90s and early 2000s, like it just blew me away.
Yeah, I have it for me it hit all at one time, and especially when it came to my first my first foray into stand up was Fozzie Bear from the Muppet Show.
I mean, you make a good point. That's fair. Yeah.
that was
You make good
that was
points.
my first stand up comic. He was, even when he bombed, he was happy.
True. Living his dream.
Yeah, but Carlin definitely was eating my first.
But I remember all those like
opening.
in late, like maybe middle school, like 7th, 8th grade. Early Dane Cook specials. Carlos Mencia, Gabriel Iglesias on Comedy Central Presents. Kathleen Madigan, hilarious lady. Maria Bamford's like real early work, like, and now she's a writer and killing it in the industry and really doing well. And like Greg Papa, or not Greg, Todd Papa. Guys that are even still around, like doing really well. Like they, when I was like 11, 12, which is now 20 years ago, they were like just breaking in, like just doing, like 5-minute sets on an improv show, that, just happened to be on Comedy Central. I'd watch the shit out of that.
Yeah, it was those. I actually go back to those for sleep, and not to say that it makes me sleepy, but it's relaxing, it's soothing. When you go to those comedy specials, the Comedy Central Presents and all that.
And there's always Insomniac with David Tell.
Oh, definitely. I have been like I said, it's been a just a love hate relationship for all of them, because it's like shit. I wish I could have been involved in all three in one way in life, but having a forum here, it helps.
I definitely haven't really stepped into like comedy too much. We did the movie Brooklyn Battle Comedy, I'm part of the company still. Like we, as a production studio sort of, where maybe we're workshopping like maybe a second movie, a second series. But that was fun. Obviously, like that was working with 2 stand-up comedians or 3 stand-up comedians.
Your mic went dead. Zach, your mic went dead. Zach, your mic went dead. It went dead.
Oh, my mic went dead? Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Am I back?
That's right. Yeah, you're back.
Okay, cool. So yeah, the experience with Benel and Lawson and Hannah, like making that movie or like mini series, was great. It was like, just riffing all these ridiculous jokes, poking fun at wrestling, poking fun at comedy, poking fun at the way the world is, like all that stuff. It's a blast.
What was harder for you? Refereeing, taking bumps in the ring, or getting in front of people and getting in front of a film crew and such, and riffing, improvising and such?
That's probably the hardest. I think I get most nervous before like music stuff, to be honest. Probably because I care more, like the most about that. Not that I don't care about wrestling, but like, especially as a referee, like you're the third man in there. Like I know I'm going to be able to do my job. As long as the guys are good, then I know the match is going to be good. But yeah, I get definitely most nervous about like performing music, even though I think I have a pretty good track record live performance wise, but yeah, it just makes the butterflies. Improv was tough though. Like I was very much like, at least for me with the movie, like getting my lines, trying, and then like when we would do the improv takes, it would take a couple for me to really get in the groove.
Yeah, listen, you're gonna shit the bed a couple of times. Like,
yeah, thank God it wasn't live takes.
We're not all Robin Williams and Jim Carrey. You're gonna have some stinkers that float up there. It's gonna happen.
Facts.
So music wise, we mentioned earlier how hip hop is now involved in growing more and more in wrestling as well. How has it been with you and with it pertaining to your music? How has been the transitioning to putting your music together? What's happening on that end?
So I started doing music even before wrestling. So like I might have fell in love with wrestling first, but music was very much a passion of mine throughout college. I sang for some groups on campus, like some choir groups and like a cappella stuff, and did all these different things there. And then met a friend of mine who was doing production, making beats, cutting up samples, and we just started writing. And it's like 3 albums, 3.5 albums, like 3 albums in an EP later, like 40 something songs, a couple music videos, like live shows in New York a couple times, rooftops, pretty chill. Some summer festivals here and there. It's been a blast. Like, it's real low key. Like, I have not since now until now really like kind of blended wrestling and that part of my life together. Just because, like, especially as a referee, like, you're not there as a referee. I'm not there to be the star of the show, right? It's not my job there. My job is to keep the matches together, be like a pseudo authority figure as like a performance, and then like make sure guys are safe and healthy and no one's hurt, and you know what I mean? Like, so it's again like trying to rap and stuff on a wrestling show that I'm refereeing on was never really something I was trying to do, because I know, it takes away from other guys. Like, oh, in the main event, it's like, oh, that referee was rapping before. That's so cool. But it's like, no, the fans should be paying attention to the 2 guys putting their bodies on the line, not the referee who just raps for 5 minutes. Like, it doesn't matter. So, but TJ gave me the opportunity. Like, I'm not reffing on this card. I'm just doing the performance. I'm really excited about that. But yeah, it's been a part of my life for the better part of all my 20s and all my 30s. We don't do a ton of live performances anymore. My producer and co-artist has children, and he's a full-time teacher. So, it's tough for him, other than the summertime, to get time away. But, this is hopefully the start of at least a couple live shows into the summer.
You said the whole singing and all that and being part of an a cappella group. It just reminded me of Andy from like The Office when they have like that the quartet. But even that, it's not easy, man. And don't sell yourself short with the refereeing thing. It's a very important gig that
absolutely.
You guys play a very important part in that referee.
I'll never downplay the importance of a referee, but like especially because of the danger of wrestling, the risk that's involved. You never want the referee to like take away from the wrestlers, because like the wrestlers are the ones that are putting their bodies on the line. They're the ones taking the risks. They're the ones going out there and like trying to make it happen in that regard. So like as a referee, I do want to kind of take at least a step back and give them that, center stage, so to speak. So,
right.
But the Project Sinatra show is a little bit different.
Lost you on mic again.
Oh, it's gonna be lit. It's gonna be absolutely awesome.
Yeah, I like the theme that he went with. Project Code Name Sinatra. TJ, shout out to the boys. TJ Marconi. TJ Marconi is like,
hell yeah.
He's one of those guys in the business that needs to get much love, give much more flowers in the business right now, because he's smart to the game. He's in tune. What I
mean, look at what he did to Roman Reigns' career, right? Like Roman Reigns gave him that Superman punch and rocket strap straight to the top.
Hey, look at that, right?
You know what I mean? Now you got a story to tell. Ayo.
If Roman never hit that big man out of the ring, who knew what could have happened?
Who knows what would have happened? You know what I mean?
So what's the game plan for Project Codename Sinatra? What's the idea here?
Well, as far as I know, and I don't know what's been too released and set out in the public, but I feel like what I've been led to believe is that it's sort of going to be interspersed. It's going to be wrestling match, music performance, wrestling match, maybe a DJ set. I think Jimi Hendrix is going to be throwing down some music. I know Alvin Alvarez is going to do some DJ work on the 1 and 2s. Yeah, so, I think it's going to be sort of like wrestling, music, wrestling, and then, obviously the full bar, maybe a little dance floor. It's going to be a blast. Like I said, I can't wait.
And if I'm not mistaken, Alvin plays an instrument or two as well. He's a fine-tuned man as well.
I didn't know. I mean, I heard he's going to be on doing a DJ set.
Yeah, we've had Alvin
really
on the show
cool
before.
If you got in some live instrumentation, or that's dope.
I don't know if Alvin gets it a little bit of a percussion set going on. Probably
word,
takes the
yeah.
drum into the ring and beat the shit out of somebody with a drum as well.
Oh God.
But
That'd be
it seems as though that it's a beautiful time for not only wrestling but for all the genres alike, that they're all meshing and tying in together. I'm going back to comedy. A lot of us our stand-ups, our favorite stand-up comedians, they've been transitioning to podcasting. And I was going to ask you, what's your thoughts about how comedy is today? People have been so afraid because of cancel culture and such like that, but I felt that as though that is even flourishing even more now, that there's a lot of
yeah. I
pushback
mean, I
to
think
that.
I think there are people who are able to navigate that. But I also think like cancel culture, so to speak, like there are just consequences for your actions. Like, Louis C.K., really funny guy. You can't masturbate in front of people. You can't do that. You
We
shouldn't.
can't.
Maybe I won't go
Shit,
see you. And like,
I gotta take that. I gotta take that off my list. We can't masturbate in front of people. All right, gotta make sure that that's on there. I gotta make sure we're not doing that. Gotta make sure cut that off.
But
We're
you know what
not
I mean?
doing
Like,
that
it's like
anymore.
just consequences, and like eventually people forget, or they're like, it's been enough time. Like, we'll go see him again. But like, guys like Mark Normand really towing the line, and he's hilarious. I'm a really big fan of Dion Cole. If you've ever seen him, he's really, really funny. I mean, my friend Lawson Leong, really great, comedian for probably close to 10 years or more, or maybe even longer. Stand up in NYC, open mic staple for a lot of years. He's going to be on a show headlined by Judah Friedlander coming up. And I wish I had all the details, but it's for charity gig. And that's like a huge deal. And it's going to be dope. So, there's all these guys and ladies out as well. Hannah Harkness.
Yeah, I gotta make some calls again. I guess some of my guys back and bring in some more. I've had Kyle Davis on the show. James Madden, Mad Dog has been on the show. Bob Levy I've had on the show before. Like I mean, these are guys who not only love comedy, but they're also big with wrestling around. They're huge wrestling fans and such. I gotta see if I get to that connection again. I haven't been to.
There's so much crossover between the like again, like I would say most wrestlers are probably stand-up fans, and you know what I mean. Like most comedians probably watch wrestling as a kid. Like there's so much crossover between people who, it's just again the mentality of people who go after something like that. Sort of this impossible dream that you make happen.
Yeah, it's like I said, everything is it's people think just because you put on a pair of tights, you're going in the ring, you're gonna be able to work. People think just because you put a mic in front of you, you're gonna be able to entertain a crowd, and it's not that simple. It doesn't come that there's a grind, there's a work ethic, there's a you got to put in those, like they say. It's cliche, but it's true.
Just the basic level of writing jokes, man. Like I've tried to write jokes, they're not funny. Like, I did one. I've done one set. I did one set, and I told a story, just about my life, because I think that's if I'm ever gonna make people laugh, it's just because I have a crazy life. And I, even that 5-minute set felt like forever. Just like, and I got a few laughs here and there, and it was an emotional story. Actually, it was about Matt Travis, and we filmed a promo on my apartment building roof, and then we went out that night and everything. Obviously, it was me, him, Cam Broadway, Sasha Jenkins. Obviously, it got crazy. But that story is out there somewhere in a 5-minute stand-up set on film somewhere. But
oh man,
I don't remember everything. But like obviously a very emotional story. Very a lot of fun stuff happened. But yeah, imagine to be able to go up and do an hour or a half hour even of written material that you wrote that is gonna be funny. Bananas that even happened.
Yeah, I have notes on my phone. I've been writing for like such a long time, and I remember during COVID, I actually went and bought a tapestry that looks like a brick wall. I went and got a stand up. I was gonna actually do stand up online, just to test the waters. I believe with all the notes that I have, I might have a solid 5. I might. It's one thing that I said that I would just to say I've done it, to do the bucket list thing, just to get off. Yeah. And especially nowadays, like Brooklyn is propping up with a lot of comedy clubs now. Like there's one up on Star Street right now.
5 minutes at the NYC Talent Show, I got the in.
Oh, definitely. Oh,
Let me know.
I'll definitely let you know. Yeah.
Let me know.
But yeah, there's it's popping up now. Stand up is now becoming, I guess like
Well,
they'll
I
say the
think a
hipster
lot of it is
culture.
the bloom of post COVID, the world coming back, and like it took a while. I mean, a lot of artists left New York City
Right.
because it was not livable, or they had family elsewhere, and now it's that trickle back of they were able to get back on their feet after COVID, and now they're moving back to New York to get back to it, get back to work, the real work.
Yeah. And I saw, especially during COVID, comedians, they were doing their damnedest. They went out, they were doing open shows in cornfields and even wrestling. They did the same thing. Everybody was, everybody went outside.
Yeah,
They
doing
made sure
outside cinematic matches and all that stuff. I mean, again, we did like a movie. We were able to get work for, guys like CPA and MB Young. We were, again, it's just like, it was a one shot, you know what I mean? Like, we were only there for really like a day, but some guys get, a couple $100, or we had guys feature for a little bit of, like what would be a booking probably, like we had Danhausen in our movie and Anthony Gangone and Leroy Green. And like guys that I love that, like might not have been able to wrestle at the time. Like, of course. And it's just any way you can find a way, fucking make it work.
I could only imagine like during the COVID time when guys were about to wrestle, they were just washing their body with hand sanitizers before they went out there. They were just
or the exact opposite. And it was just like a fucking warehouse with like 300 people in it who like were just reckless.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's wrestling though. Like, what can you say? Like, that's wrestling.
Yeah. It's like when everybody, when you're in a small room with like 50 people and people on there battle rapping, it's like, this is hip hop. This is
the real hip hop.
This is where hip hop is.
Yeah, right. Me at Legendary Cypher, I'm like a Thursday night with like 20 people. This is the real shit right here.
Right here. This is the essence right here. This is where it started from.
Without Jake doesn't ever sell out 500,000 seats. Fuck, man.
That's right.
Damn it. Son of a bitch. So many people.
Are you one of those that listen to like a hip hop song and like when you hear a wrestling reference, you do the nod?
Oh,
like,
I go crazy.
Yeah. I got that.
I did this like Muda.
I did that at a comedy show, John. We were at an event. I was with somebody, and comedian James Madden was on stage, and he turns to a guy in the crowd and he goes, "This guy looks like the Ring of Honor television champion." And at the time, it was Jay Lethal, and I was the only one laughing. And then he turns to me, he goes, "This guy knows what I'm talking about."
This guy knows what I'm talking about.
I exactly know what you're talking about. Yeah, exactly. So let me ask you before I let you go, because you're out there, and it looks like it's a nice day out there. And
we're just chilling. I'm just hanging out. They're doing check-in registration for the event, so I'm just kind of hanging out until later tonight when we start really throwing down the cards in the Super Show. Which, by the way, if you guys haven't heard of the Super Show, SRG Universe.
Shout out to Steve Resk, man. Steve Resk and the guy.
Pro wrestling card game in the world.
Yep.
All your favorites are available. Gangone, Smiley, Broadway. The Young Bucks have cards, so they're rare. AJ Styles was in the game. Kenny Omega was in the game. The game is really fun. It's just like an indie match or like an indie wrestling show at these events. So
this is my deck right here. Over. I have my deck right here.
Yeah, my man's got the decks right there. He knows.
I got my deck right there. I support my guy Steve Resk.
And it's a blast.
That's SRG Universe, man.
Steve Resk, again, another big hip hop fan. He's the game designer. He's a big hip hop fan. We've been in the studio. He's got some stuff. Check out his shit on SR Goddess on SoundCloud. Some really cool stuff. The BOSS dropping some bars as well.
Yeah, I'm shout out to my boy Painted in Blue, and he's telling me, yo, do an open mic. I'm with
Hell
it.
I'm
with it. I'm with it.
I'd be there. Let me know.
Listen, man, there was my boy. Shout out to my boy Lorenz Dean. He wanted to put together a stand-up wrestling show.
Low key, shout out to Lorenz Dean. Lorenz. I don't know what's the deal. Everything's crazy in New York. You know how that goes. But he put on a seminar with Billy Gunn that was absolutely unbelievable.
You were at that show.
You were there.
You were there.
I went to the seminar. I was like, there was like 4 people there, bro.
Yeah, and he had the stand-up show that night. It was stand-up and wrestling that night.
Yeah,
Oh my
I
God,
was
the
there. It was
crowd
awesome.
was horrible. I emceed that show and I did a set. It was bad. I might as well have taken a choke slam that night. It was
Nah,
that's
bro,
how
but
bad
the
it was.
seminar, bro. I mean, the show was what it was. That's
Right.
but again, like you said, like we're not fucking Jim Carrey and Robin Williams, and their first set was probably not that great either, right?
Right.
So you know,
I told the comedians turned to me. They said, "Listen, you got balls, man. This crowd was tough."
yo, but no, big shout out, low key to Lorenz Dean. I don't know what he's up to these days, but definitely let him know if you see him. I said, "What up?"
Yeah, yeah. Before I let you go, I wanted to play a quick game with you. I wanted to see if we could interchange and mix and match certain individuals from the different genres that we enjoy, and see if where we could put one in the other, and see who would fit at the best place. So, for instance, if it was a comedian, who do you think they would fit in wrestling or in hip hop?
Oh my God,
hip hop artists. We see
bro,
if they fit better. I'll
Bruce,
give you okay.
Bruce,
I'll give you one
and
off
Big Pun as a tag team.
Okay. I'll give
saying.
you who. Where would outside of hip hop, where would MF Doom fit at?
Ooh, oh, I mean, MF Doom, I think, is definitely a wrestler, right? Like, come on,
Right.
I mean, he's already in the hood. He's already masked up. He's already the villain. You know how it is.
Chappelle, where would Chappelle fit at?
I think current hip hop, like old Chappelle, would like actually be like would fit pretty well in like modern hip hop, the modern hip hop world. Brolic Chappelle though, probably a wrestler.
Probably.
He's huge, bro. You see his traps?
Yeah, he's been working out. He's not playing these days.
No, he's not, bro.
Yeah, he lives on a farm. He has to move some stuff around over there. He's got to stay in shape.
Him and Brock Lesnar, bro. Smart.
Hey, look, Carrot Top.
Oh, dude.
Carrot Top is jacked, man.
Carrot Top is definitely a wrestler. Not only is he jacked, but like, dude is actually fucking hilarious.
MJF.
I guarantee he gets over.
MJF.
Ooh. I mean, hip hop, I don't know about, but I mean, maybe comedy. You know, he puts his tap shoes back on, does a little number. You know.
Yeah. And finally, Busta Rhymes.
Yo, he is a funny dude. He even brings punchlines in his songs too, man. This one's tough because he's obviously, you know, he's a tough dude. He might be all three. Fuck. He might run the table. Busta might run the table, honestly.
He'll run the gauntlet, right?
He runs the gauntlet. Busta's a legend.
Man, but thanks again for your time, man. Yo,
no, thank you for having me, of course. Again, everybody come check out Cloud Walker. Follow us on Instagram, Cloud Walker Hip Hop. Same thing on YouTube. Check out like our full discographies on there. We got music videos, live performances, and then we're gonna be at Pro Wrestling Codename Sinatra, Hoboken, New Jersey, Elks Lodge, May 17th. Doors open 6:30. TJ Marconi headlining, as far as I understand. Now you got a story to tell.
Definitely.
It's gonna be a blast. Yeah. It's gonna be kicking off the summer with a hype ass party. That's what we do.
Definitely, we got to get you back again. We're gonna make sure that we don't leave it a long gap like we did the last time. We got to make sure that we keep it pushing.
I'm trying to jump back into it feet first. So hopefully you'll see me more.
All right, brother. You guys have a good time out there, and get me a card. I need a rare card. Tell Steve I need a card.
Word, I got you. I'll find something for you, no doubt.
All right, brother. Much love. Check in again later on.
Easy. Walked away.
Later. Guys, we have much to talk about later on in this episode. And for all you guys who checked in on the live stream, thanks again for you guys taking in. Trying to do much more social media stuff. I'm trying to kick it in, checking in with you guys. You guys are showing us love here, and I appreciate it. Just make sure you like, subscribe, be a part of the vibe, and be a part of us on all the socials, man. We're doing as much as we can on this end, and much to talk about later on. And don't go anywhere, guys. Stick around. Check you guys in a sec.